What is up, everybody? Hopefully, I'm coming in a lot more louder. Let's hope so. I have the new microphone hooked up, but I'm not like computer savvy at all. I got the creative mind, not the technological mind. Let's get this glare off my glasses. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna these are really bad pictures, by the way, because these are from my phone, from Scott Porter's video, his whole week of unboxing. First of all, let's okay. If we all don't get boxes like that, that's just WizKids pumping it up for us to buy a bunch. He got a prime and a chase in one brick. Not to mention the chase he got was the chase he wanted. So I feel like it was almost seeded, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns up during the Harley Quinn set. It did seem like some had two chases, some had per case, and some did have a chase and a prime. So I mean, hey, but I think it needs to get to the point where like friends could split boost a case and chase and a chase, and it's fine because then the chase values will go down a little bit, and that does hurt a little bit of the secondary market. But it's all about us getting what we want and playing. So I suggest WizKids, listen, chase. So when we buy them with our buddies, one of us is not stuck with a common prime or whatever. But anyway, so hopefully this is all coming through fine, and we're just gonna do a quick run through because I took as many pictures I think of all of them, but some are going to be with it, some are going to be not with it. I didn't take the time to make sure each match because some are blurry. Just talking just in general, it's weird, like I'm in the middle of this for this set right now. I really am excited for it. I'm pumped up, but again, we are getting more X-Men, and I love X-Men. Again, I love X-Men to death. Some of the greatest comics ever. But, we are in a world where there is, or I say in the pop culture world, the comic world, there is so many more better things that we can make right now. Not so much that we don't need certain characters, but more so that there's a lot we haven't even touched yet. But on the other side, with this set, we did touch on a lot of characters that I have not seen or haven't seen in some time. I'm super excited for Generation X. I don't know about you guys. I think I talked about in another video. I was really into Scott Lobdell's run with Chris Bachalo drawing it. I fell in love with Chris Bachalo's art at that time. It's probably about in 7th, 8th grade. It was a perfect time. Kind of like right when you're pubescent, right when the time was where I felt like I needed to get my mutant powers. I remember reading that like everyone got them in their teens, and Jubilee was like 13 and stuff like that. So I'm stoked for that. Right now what's showing, I believe, is the back of Artie. Artie has a cool ability. I believe he has Generation X, and it's kind of cool too. I didn't even see who all has Generation X from previous sets, but I know Emma, the one I talked about I think before, that gives you the +1s for everything. She can get pretty nasty because she gonna be with the Generation X, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I'm very excited for that. So much that I used to keep my run of it, but I can't remember if I have it still. I liquidated so many of my collection, but anyways, I did buy trades for the first two classics, I guess, stories. All right, so that's gonna take us to there. Man, look at these are just so bad. Penance is in it. Generation X. She has a really cool ability with blades. I love Penance. She couldn't be touched. Her body was all razor sharp, and there's a weird story with her and Sync. Not Insync, but with Sync. Another Generation X member. I'm really excited for her. I think they gave her the Loners keyword or something like that. The team that Darkhawk and them are on. We didn't see Chamber. So not seeing Chamber was kind of a bummer. Either we're still going to see him, because we have every freaking member, and that was but him. I would like to see the villain implant. I think I said that already. Who knows? I can see people winning tournaments and making Chamber, so that could have been a thing too. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Venus de Milo, we saw that she is in here. Her back of her card was... yeah, right there. Running shot pin Psyche SD. Support off the bat. Nice. That's the good thing about a lot of these characters are so versatile. But yeah, so there's that. Penance, that's her back of her card. I want to say, I have no clue what it is. Husk for Generation X again. Husk was interesting. If you watch the movie that I talked about that they made right for TV for Fox, they couldn't afford to do Husk because her abilities are ripping her skin off and the CGI would be bad. So they traded her in for a character named Buff. And Buff, like, just had a bunch of definition. It was like they had her like take off her shirt and you saw her back, and it was like a dude's buff back or something. It was just really goofy. But they all have that trait where they move 5, and I believe they can do close combat action. I think my wife really hates that. I do all the time. We don't want to talk about that guy yet. He'll be the last guy we talk about because I'm actually really stoked, and I've had that plan for a long time. I'll get into that later. Mercury. I mean, I'm not big on the Hellions. A lot of people are. She was decent, nothing too shabby. Jubilee again, Generation X. I like what they're doing with her. I do want a different version of her, but I don't know if we will get it. The Cuckoos, looks like we're going to get A, B, and C of them. I think Scott Porter mentioned that. Again, I love Scott Porter. You know, it's cool. I like that he gets to do these things, but I think he tries way too hard to be funny sometimes. And I do appreciate him, you know, because he has the love for the comics and the games. I mean, just like how I get into the whole comic spiel about some things. So there's days where I appreciate it, and there's days where I'm like, dude, just get to the freaking dial. Like, that's all I care about. And sometimes he doesn't pay attention. He doesn't show the front and the back. Even though he reads it, it's great, but for saving it, yeah. It's one of those things that is hit and miss for me. A lot of these are his. You can see his thumb like on there. These are all from his whole week. You know, he did get doubles and stuff like that, so I'm gonna have some mixed in here. M is a rare. I really liked M. She went on further along and joined X Factor. Only thing that kind of bugged me with some of these, okay, so we get pieces of characters that are from a while back. Like this M is from when she's on Generation X. Yet we give it X Factor, but then we'll come across other characters that are older versions of them, but we're not giving them the future teams are on either. So I don't know. That's something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Wait, let's see. Yep, we're going. That's the way we want to go. M has 2 dials. I like that she starts with the hypersonic and invincible, and I believe she's 80 full, which is really good if that's 80. Again, this is from him putting it up to the phone. I mean, I'm sorry, the camera, and getting the best I can. It's just if that's 80, that's super strong character right there. I'm gonna be happy to run Generation X team. Oh man, this is Skin. We must have let's go back. Skin, I must have, his picture must be somewhere else. I think this is Skin. I don't know, that's 30 points. Maybe it's, oh no, that's Leach. It has Skin with it. Leach is crazy. Leach can shut down pickup powers, which is awesome. I actually really like that. Leach is a great character. He's been in the backgrounds of the animated series. They had him on Morlock. He mainly found his home in Generation X comics, so I had a lot of love for Leach and loved the character. And the original, I think the only Leach we ever got was from Giant Size X-Men. And he was really good too, because you couldn't use like powers or something within 6 squares, and he had stealth, so he just hid, and it was great, but it worked on everyone, so it kind of sucked at times when it ruined it for you. But yeah, he's only 3 clicks deep at 30 points. He might be a meta piece that or staple you have to have on your team, because the fact that he will take out pickup powers. So it's like before I think your turn's over, you get to pick a power. I mean, granted, you'll most likely pick Invincible or something like that if Goblin King or someone's picking it. I mean, that's the kind of thing bugged me too with Scott Porter. He kept bringing up like people as examples, and the examples he brought were like Nico and stuff like that, and it's like, no, those aren't the ones we're worried about. It's the Jakeem Thunders and then the Goblin Kings and stuff like that. Excuse me. So yeah, Leach is gonna get like a lot of love. Kitty Pryde was cool. Her sculpt was really badass. I love that she's like a team leader in this one. decent stats, nothing crazy. But again, low point, looks like 50 points on that one. These are going to be great for X-Men teams. Hellion had a lot of interesting things on him. But again, not a big Hellions guy. But leadership's not bad to have. 40 points. I mean, you can make a little fun team. I think with Generation X will be a lot better of a team so far, but we haven't seen all of the Hellions as well. I mean, if you look in that picture, you can barely see it. It's blurry, but there's the whole team there, and we only got like 3 shown, I think, at the most. I don't think we even got Rock Slide or that. So Banshee's very super blurry, but all I can tell you is Banshee. He does have running shot, pulse wave. He can be played at 75 or 40, I believe, which is not bad. His special white box, I know, dealt with, like, I believe when he hits, he puts an action token on you or some sort of that. So no end nothing like that, which is kind of understandable, but he's not bad. Even at full 75, I'm gonna have fun running him on a Generation X team. Kind of wish he had leadership. I don't know if he had it, if he had it marked in a trait in there somewhere. Can't remember that much, but as far as off the bat, I remember I was very disappointed because Scott Porter was like, every Banshee we've gotten is really good, blah, 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 because we've had, I think the best Banshee was from Deadpool. Then we got the LE, and it's not bad for 50 points, but I think this one you may go to depending on how you feel that day, I guess. I don't know, because other ones, yeah, I mean, I don't know, the 50-point one might be better than the 40-point. We'll see. But I definitely would probably play him 80. This more McTaggart, I think, is nasty. I think she's good. I'm not big on getting, like, lower tier primes. Because I definitely want that in my super rare prime. But this more is pretty... Just that mind control, if you're next to her, she can target... I mean, you can target 3. You get 3 lightning bolts. That's crazy. She had something else I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Whoops. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's her. I don't think it is. Sidestep. No, that is. Since yep, those are all hers. Arena of Scars. God, sorry, I do not remember that one. These ones I had to go off the top of my head. Plus, there's so many, but I remember her ability was not bad at all. Oh yeah, and Kitty Pryde, not so I don't forget. When you're Jason and Kitty Pryde, you can go through a wall if you're next to her and next to the wall, I guess, or somewhere lined up like that. That sounded really freaking awesome. Really strategic and really cool way to do things. But with Mora, she did have a cool ability. I just have to look it up again. But definitely check her out. I think I was like very impressed with her. She is 40 points. I want her on my team alone just for those 3 targets. I mean, mind control is so deadly. It's just lately it's been so good lately. Enchantress and I don't know who else I've been using. Maybe Cersei, I think, had it too. Like, it's just been so prominent in games, I feel like, lately. Who do we got? I keep doing the voice that my wife hates. This Magneto was, to me, garbage. I didn't like this Magneto at all. I think maybe because... Well, I know why. Because he wasn't great. 50 points for Force Blast. TK's good, but if you would have made him 30, he would have probably been better. He doesn't have no endom, so I get that. Being 50 points, his outwit's not top dial. It's near the end. His willpower is near the end. Just those last 5 clicks, or those last 2 clicks, they're just god awful. There's nothing to redeem it. You're just sitting there with the empty defense and outwit. It's just a really, really bad piece. I think Scott Porter made a hint like, "Oh, that's a way to get Magneto on your team." I don't think anyone will put this on their team. I really don't. I'll have to read the trait again, but I'm pretty sure it's just one of the simple traits. But yeah, I mean, TK's great. I love TK, but not for 50 points with just him. There's way more characters we could use. This Magic was cool. She did a lot of different things. She also, when she carried, she can carry a hefty group. I believe it was 4. Her sword had a cool ability. Its blades, claws, fangs, and had additional things going on with it. Again, it wasn't too shabby. she made sense for what she had. She was about even, I felt like. Nothing too crazy. This was one of the lights with Hope. I didn't care too much for her. She had okay things, but again, the flavor, I guess, was there. Nothing too crazy about her. She does have her special all the way through. Right here, we're skipping right through. Oh, that was Brew. Not Brew. Yeah, Brew. God, I love Brew. It's funny because it's brewed, but without Brew. He is such a cool character. Wolverine and the X-Men, I was hoping would show up in this, and this gives me a little bit of hope because we have Infinity next, and I don't know if we'll get to see. Sometimes, like right now, we got some people that connected Deadpool like the Ecstatic when we saw Venus, but I don't see us getting other Wolverine and the X-Men until something else can drop it in there. But I hope. My biggest one is Kid Omega. I love Kid Omega. I've always loved Kid Omega. I felt like he needs kind of just a little bit of a touch up. His last piece was really good, but I mean, this guy is supposed to be Omega level, like level 5 Omega mutant, and we need to treat it like so. And his other one was cool because once he got to a click, he got Power Cosmic, he became Phoenix basically, because there is a future where he does become Phoenix. But just if you read Schism, this guy like turns the United Nations on everyone, and this is when Wolverine and Cyclops have their little bro breakup, and it's just such a good story. His mind control is just ridiculous that he has in the comics, so I want to see him. But Brew still is pretty cool. He has a thing where he ends up going a little bit nuts, and it's his stop click, and that's where he's like a monster, where he's charging blades and close combat. I mean, 50 or 25, it's really cool. I mean, if you could play him at the 20, I think if it's 25, it's probably going to be the 7 leap climb with the outwit. Kind of weird they made him tiny, because there are people that are small. There's like, I don't know, like Tico, I think is tiny, but there's like certain characters. I think when I look at them, they're like not tiny. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How are they not tiny? And then he is, so it's kind of odd. But yeah, so I think if you play him at 25, if you do get him at the charge level, that'd be crazy. Charge blades and all that, combat reflexes, and his special on top of it. So let's see, we got her. Jean Grey is very basic, nothing crazy. It's just the X Factor, basically, ATA. Her dial is pretty good, though, I think, compared to a lot of other people's. Like, just plain dials, nothing on it. No specials or white boxes or anything like that. Leadership is great. I love that they gave Jean Grey leadership. Even though technically Cyclops was basically, I guess, a leader on that team, she did pull her own weight and lead at times, just like you could do with Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic, if we ever get those clicks back. But yeah, the sidestep's okay, but I do like, she has TK. It's pretty good. Super Sense is a fun defense for her. And leadership's not bad either. I mean, she's good on the team. Same with Cyclops. I feel like he's nothing crazy, but at the same time, he's pretty good for 50 points and being one of the, this is the ones that got brought back through time, I believe. I think Scott Porter made, a comment that he should have had the same ability as the last one, which I do agree with. They need to carry some of that stuff over. Only problem with this one, I don't like that it gets to, again, willpower at the end and then just force blast, and that's it. He's pretty DOA at that point. There's no reason to do anything with him anymore unless you're healing him. Oh man, why can't I remember this guy's name? All I know is that once you get to your third click, you can regen, and when you regen, you get like a token on you that gives you +1 to all your stats. So I think you don't have to get it through damage, so you literally should just push them 2 different times. Then you'll be running around with the 12, 18, and I believe 4 or 5 damage. Everything gets bumped up, so I think his range even gets bumped up. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look at that, but he looked very fun, especially for 30 points. I was really excited. Who is this? I don't know which one this was. Oh, this was Darwin. I don't know if I have a picture of Darwin. Yeah, I don't think I do, but Darwin was crazy. So Darwin, before he's attacked, he gets to pick a defensive power, which is nuts. I think that's already really crazy good. Again, he does the whole pick a power thing. He does the whole kind of like what Leach does, but he gets to pick anytime anyone on the map picks a power. So if they pick 2 powers, they take, I believe, 2 penetrating damage. I guess it won't hurt people if they're picking invincible. I'm thinking if they pick invincible, they get damage for it, but it won't go through because the fact that it's invincible. So I don't know, but Darwin could be big just like Leach. I think Darwin and Leach have a lot of competitive play in their future just because the low points they have and what they do. Again, Darwin picks a defense for every time he's attacked as well. And I don't remember, since I don't have the front of the card, it looks like maybe he didn't take a picture of it. Or I'm sorry, lift it in front of the camera like normally. A lot of times he forgets to do that. But it could be his defense power is what does that, which would be kind of a bummer. But I'm hoping that's not the case because I'm pretty sure it was something he could do every turn. If not, you're just going to get stomped on. But I'm pretty sure those are blank for a reason because something goes on with you picking powers and stuff like that. All right, so the main one I was excited for was Iceman. This Iceman, I've been talking about it forever. When we were getting the last Age of Apocalypse, I kept saying, well, first of all, a while back, before we got Iceman from McKinney X-Men, I was like, we need a good Iceman. And granted, we did get a way better Iceman, but I kept saying that, you know, what I would do if I ever won a tournament, whatever. Iceman, of course, is far from my favorite character. He's a cool character. I like him, but I have a huge list before him. But I think we deserve him for X-Men teams. You know what I'd try to do is make the Age of Apocalypse one. I go there, be a way maybe to generate different Icemen, like the Jamie Madrox. I was explaining to someone at that time, like the multiple men, you'd have different ones out or something like that. And I go then also I'd want him to be able to like maybe absorb them to turn to a giant or something like that. And I think they pretty much did that. So that was really awesome. So far, this is highest one. I love this story. Doesn't even take place with the Age of Apocalypse that we had in the other ones that we're showing. It's the one from the Uncanny X-Force where Wolverine and Deadpool have their team and they are there, and this is the Iceman they encounter, and we finally see Bobby at his Omega 5 level, and Wolverine's like, damn it, Bobby, you finally did it. Like, he saw that he pushed himself to become what he was meant to be at this level, and that's where he could control just his body to a whole different level where he can make multiples of him and control them. He can make himself larger. He's just such a badass in that story. So in this one, he's gonna have the Apocalypse trait that everyone has, where you roll. You get revenge tokens, and then at the end you roll a d6 for each one, 5 or 6. You give out the damage. But then there's other ones. I know one's about him getting a giant, and the one's about him spitting out the what's it called, the tokens. His dial is just nasty. Running shot, pulse wave, imperv. He's got the white box defense, but it's just pulse wave, Penside pulse wave. At the end, he gets regen. I mean, he's just nasty. 125 he could be at, or 60 looks like. Really good piece, really good stats. Even if you play him at the 60, you're getting him for 4 clicks, but I mean, there's a pulse wave toughness, and it's 18. He has enhancement to help others. It's just crazy. Then we got a shot at the Pog. The Pog just got sidestep and incap, but I feel like this is going to be just as good as the Carnage Pogs. Those were meant to tie you up in a way. These are meant to incap you, to keep you tied up in a way. So, and they both got a shape change. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, but I mean, I think these are pretty dope. But I think what I was reading is you only have so many out at a time, and after you're done, you got to do something else. Either you get rid of them to become a giant or something. I don't know. We'll have to get into it, but I kind of just went over and just kind of got many pictures as I could, and through the whole week, and it's been a crazy week. This week's Magic pre-release, and we have the release coming up this week, coming out, or the end of this week, we'll have regular release. I'm burnt out, tired of rearranging the store, all kinds of crazy stuff, but this stuff has been on my mind nonstop. I really want to learn what else is in here. I'm hoping we'll get a little more spoilers. Hope Scott Porter is not misleading us with his box and the fact that he got a Prime Mana Chasing one. Hopefully that will happen to all of us, because we deserve it. We don't deserve to be... I hit my mic. We don't deserve to be duped in buying a million cases, and if we don't get what we want, then we have to buy them again, or buy them secondary market and get charged out of the wazoo. But this ice band is going to be costly, sadly. So I hope to goodness I pull that, and I pretty much will be happy at this point. I don't like, most of the time I like to complete chase sets, but the Age of Apocalypse set last time I really didn't care. I just wanted Wolverine because I'm a Wolverine fan. I got Colossus, and that was about it. I do want Magneto still. I see people play with that a lot, and I'm just like, man, he's like 80 or something. I'm like, nah. So with this one, Iceman is gonna be the go-to. Other than that, I love all the commons and common type stuff like that. That to me is I'm excited for. Like, I get excited for commons on commons. I love building teams, and we have so many tent poles already to build around. Like, if I don't get some stuff, I'm okay. The only things I want to make sure I get are the super rare teachers. Like Wolverine is my number one on that one, and then a few of the others. But yeah, so I mean, I think it looks pretty good. We'll see if we have any more spoilers. I will talk about them. Let me know if I'm coming in good. If you hear me good, give me some feedback. And yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some games on here soon as well. We have a lot of cool ideas of ways to play each other and stuff like that. Different mashups and different themes, I guess you could say. So, till then, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys if you did watch and dealt with all this babbling and all this comic book trash I'm spewing. But other than that, thank you guys. Have a good day. Hopefully, I will see you soon.